All right, folks, Duke Machado here, Hispanic Republicans of McLennan County, coming to you with this story about a candidate, a Democrat, who wants to run against Pete Sessions. He's looking to earn our vote here in McLennan County and throughout the district. So, decided to look into him. And for starters, you'll notice the names underneath the image here. Jim McKay, a.k.a. James McKay, a.k.a. James Gordon McKay, a.k.a. J. Gordon Mitchell, a.k.a. James Gordon Mitchell. So what is with all the name changes? That right off the top, I mean, that many names, changes, alterations, variations of name is just sketch. I'm just going to put it out there. You're hiding something. You're running from something. I'm going to read something that this person wrote as his explanation for his name change. And really, what he wrote is, to me, more indicative of his personality, his nature, and his background and experience. Let me see here. I'm just going to read this. It was sent to me from my good friend, Aram Hernandez. Apparently, he was a school board member at Leander ISD. And so, for starters, that's where he was. And I'm going to just read what he says. So there are whispers afoot regarding an issue that I brought up when I first decided to step up and fight. This issue came up because I brought it up. I've been transparent since day one, and I'm going to keep it that way. I served 2 terms on the Leander ISD Board of Trustees under my former name, Jim McKay. I was elected twice and set consecutive vote total records. Those records still stand. During that time, I defended inclusive literature. We'll go back to this. Books by Black, Brown, LGBTQIA+, Indigenous, and immigrant authors, because representation matters. I also stood by the belief that graphic depictions of sex or violence in K through 12 libraries deserve thoughtful review, not censorship, responsibility. It wasn't politically popular, but it was the right thing to do, and for it, I became a target. Poor guy. I wonder why. I was threatened, harassed. My marriage ended. Another board member lost her home to a fire under undetermined circumstances. In 2021, under an unrelenting onslaught of extremist attacks from both sides, I resigned to protect 40,000 students, my family, and my community. I took the time needed to begin to heal. 3 years later, I changed my name to honor my late mother's heritage. 3 years, there is nothing to hide. I did not change my name in 2021 or 2022. I legally changed it on January 5th, 2025. I re-entered public life because of the harm being done to this country by people like Pete Sessions and Donald Trump. I'm not running from anything. I'm running for something. Sounds to me like you're running from something. And what you're running from is your shameful position on trying to get these nasty books put in the public school system. So obviously you're woke. You're part of the woke agenda. Whenever someone says Black, Brown, Indigenous, that is virtue signaling, just like the hat you're wearing in that image, just like the flag you're hanging in the background. You are virtue signaling, or it might mean something else. But when you do your name change to protect 40,000 students, I'm glad you left. I'm glad that you're not on the school board of Leander ISD or any other school board. Guys like you, people like you, you could almost say that you're grooming students. You're putting in their hands, essentially, sexually graphic content. LGBTQ, all the literature that you stand behind. Parents don't want that. We don't want that in schools. It doesn't belong in schools. But no, you fight to the end so hard that you lose your marriage, and you have to resign in shame and change your name. That's how I see it. I don't think I can see it any other way. You, in your own words, put it out there. You're too liberal. You're too liberal for this district. And I can't imagine McLennan County or any other county wanting someone like you. And we're going to get into some other issues that we know you stand for. You're woke. You're part of the woke agenda. You love socialism. You love communism. In fact, you like communism so much, you hated the law that was put in place that is going to mandate that schools no longer teach any sort of positive aspect of communism. The schools are not going to be breeding grounds for creating civil unrest. They're not going to be recruiting grounds for Antifa anymore. Not in Texas anyway, and thank God. And even though you fought it so hard, you lost. Thank God. Thank God there's conservatives, there's people here who believe in God and are fearful of Him. We fought to get the 10 Commandments put back into schools because schools are out of control. And so we passed a law in Texas that the 10 Commandments need to be posted in every school. And you go crazy. You can't handle it. You can't stand it. You go to social media. You start blasting conservatives. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You go against the 10 Commandments. You support socialism, communism. You support putting nasty books, sexually graphic books in public schools. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed that you're even thinking about running for this office. People do not want to be represented by someone like you. And you've got a lot of issues I think you need to resolve on your own. You don't need to be running for office. Not at all. And I am a brown person, right? I'm a brown man. And I stand against everything you stand for. And I will blast this message as loud as I can. I'll spread it as far as I can. Because people need to know what you're up to, who you are, what you really believe in. You're not going to virtue signal yourself into office, buddy. It's not going to happen. So with that said, get to know who Jim McKay, James McKay, James Gordon McKay, J. Gordon Mitchell, James Gordon Mitchell is. That should tell you enough. Duke Machado, Hispanic Republicans, McLennan County. We're out of here.